Hey guys, so this week the last couple weeks at work, we have really been struggling with our students. And I really think part of it has to do with like the full moon. For those of you who work in healthcare, you know exactly what I mean by that, but apparently our students also act the same way. Um, I guess I wasn't totally prepared for that, but like our students have really been struggling and our class has been going through it the last couple weeks. Like it's been hard to kind of just hold in there. And I've been trying to just like go in every day with a fresh mind, a fresh perspective on things and not like hold on to the previous day's stresses, but it's been hard. And I think one thing that doesn't help is that on a weekly basis, we have a substitute at least one day per week, sometimes more. And that's because our lead teacher in the classroom has cancer and is going through chemo and all of that. So she has to be gone at least once a week. And so, like, our students being neurodivergent and having special needs, they don't really typically respond well to having substitute employees come in. So thankfully we do have another para that we have been like, she works with other students that are older than ours, but thankfully the last two times that the teacher has been gone, um, she has been able to leave her assignment because she only has two kids on her assignment. And other than that, she like walks other resource students throughout the day that need a break and need to just like walk around the building. Um, So she has the flexibility in her daily schedule or daily routine to come in and help us out on the days that our lead teacher is gone. So at least it's been sort of consistent, but then at other times we've had to pull like actual permanent subs or long-term subs that we have that are on staff. And so it makes it really hard. Like our kids really need consistency and they need to see the same faces. And it's hard when subs come into our classroom to begin with because one, most of the time they don't know how to work with our students. They don't know how to handle like the tantrums or like they might think that we are being mean to the students because some of our students have sensory processing disorders where like if you touch them, they may throw themselves on the floor. If you ask them to do something, they may like scream no and throw themselves on the floor. And most of the time when they do that, as long as they're not hurt, we let them stay on the floor until they're ready to get up. Because if you go to try to touch them, to try to get them to stand up, it's only going to make the situation worse. And so like I have felt kind of weird having to do that in front of a sub because you never know what this person is thinking. Like I'm sure that they think we're the worst human beings on the world. Like in the world, this student just like threw themselves on the floor and you're just letting them sit there, right? But they don't understand that this is like a daily, it's part of our daily routine. We go through this day in and day out all week long, every week. Um, so it's just kind of like people don't understand the things that we go through in special education. I mean, education is education, but when you're dealing with neurodivergent children and like you add in different sensory processing disorders, autism spectrum disorders, and things like that, it makes it 10 times worse sometimes. Um, I am still new to this job. This is my very first year as a special education paraprofessional. I am currently almost to the end of my second month of employment in special education as of the day that I am filming this. And it's been a roller coaster ride, I will tell you. I absolutely love what I do, but like the last couple weeks, our students have been so off. And by off, I mean like throwing temper tantrums, becoming physically violent, like screaming a lot more than they were, not following our routines, not wanting to go into class for our older students that we push in to like general education classes once our younger kids leave. It makes it so hard because a lot of them don't know how to communicate with you. And like we do have great speech therapists. We have people that work with them that have printed out like communication boards for us and different visual aids, but at the same time, those don't always work. Like one of them has us, she just printed out like this paper and we laminated it and made extra copies that says I'm feeling, and then it lists a bunch of different feelings because we have my one-to-one specifically is very emotional, and she feeds off of other people's emotions that are in the room around her. And so like we were trying to figure out what exactly is wrong because we don't know what is triggering her feelings and her behaviors. And so we're trying to get to the root of like what is triggering it, so then we can try to help her or try to figure out a way to manage those triggers. Obviously we can't prevent the triggers, but like trying to manage the behavior and overcome that so that she can be in her regular learning environment with other kids her age is what we are trying to accomplish. It's just very difficult when, like I said, the student cannot always communicate what it is that they need. They can't communicate what's wrong all the time. Like we have visuals where we can open it up. I think I've shown you guys one of them, but there are multiple that we are using with my one-on-one specifically right now, where I can open it up and I can ask her what's wrong. And normally, well, I won't even say normally because right now she's not even doing this. But at the beginning of the year and for like the whole first month of the school year, if I was to open the visual and ask her what's wrong, she would point to whatever is wrong. Like, for example, we have a picture of food in there. So if she was hungry, she would point to food. Now, she also knows a little bit of sign language, and so she will also sign hungry. So it, you know, she's not even doing that at this point. So I'm really like at a loss for how to help her. Like it makes it so difficult. And like our younger kids have been becoming more and more violent, like physically, to us as staff, to their classmates, and to themselves. Like I've noticed a lot more, like our students STEM, but a lot of them, like they started out like with the shaking hands or going like this, and now they are slapping themselves or punching themselves in the head or like hitting their head off the wall and things like that. And I don't know how to help them. You know, like I do my best on a daily basis to protect them from injuring themselves, but I can only do so much. And like when it's just me and one other person, I can only do so much to stop them from hurting themselves. Like I can't be in 18 places at once. Not that we have 18 students, but we have 6 when we have all of our students together. Now, currently we have 6. And yeah, it is crazy. So please pray for me. I'm not like considering quitting my job or anything like that. I just think I needed to kind of vent to you guys because it's been very stressful. And like I said, we did just have a full moon, so I don't know if that contributed to the behavior or not, but they have been like off the charts off for the last couple weeks. And it's been really worrying to me because obviously I don't want them to hurt themselves. Obviously, I want them to be able to learn. And it's just hard when you work with a special needs population to try to provide what it is that they need when they're not able to communicate what it is that they need or what it is that they need help with or, you know, what they want, things like that. So anyways, that is where I will leave it because I have to go get ready for this executive board, executive council meeting for the fraternity. And so I guess if you guys have any questions or if you work in special education and have any advice or tips that you can give me, feel free, because I definitely appreciate all of the advice that I get. Whether it is helpful at first or not, like it is definitely appreciated. So I will talk to you guys next time.